2021 is aiming to be a new year and a new leaf for many people. 2020 was brutal to all, both famous and common alike, but some had it more brutal than others, not the least of which were certain people who were exposed or had their names dragged through the mud because of past actions and events. One of the biggest ones to suffer throughout 2020 was Ellen DeGeneres, who was exposed as a very mean and cold-hearted person and took her fair share of lumps throughout the year. But as fans look back, they noticed that not everyone put up with her. So allow us to show you the 9 times that celebrities stood up to Ellen DeGeneres on Ellen. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 9. Michelle Obama. If you were to hear that someone was going to have the recently released First Lady Michelle Obama in 2017 when her husband's time as president, came to an end, you might expect an introspective interview about life in the White House, the impact her husband had, and her future goals as a regular citizen now. But that's not what Ellen did at all. Instead, they went to a CVS pharmacy, and Ellen decided to help her adjust to life after the White House. Ellen didn't waste a single moment in her adventure with Michelle to rib her, joke with her, and try to make fun of the power that she had as the First Lady. If you can't tell, she pushed it a lot. Like when she told Michelle that she felt she was worthy of being on money, to which Michelle wisely noted that she would have to do something really noteworthy to earn that honor, and then schooled her on some of the people who did deserve to be on money, like Harriet Tubman. Ellen kept pushing things though with the jokes, to the point where Michelle had to tell off Ellen for acting like a child, which she should know all about, having raised a couple of kids in the White House. Was Ellen just trying to be fun? Sure, but given the position that Michelle had not too long ago, it would have been appreciated to give her just a little more respect. Number 8. Corinne Olympios. As noted in our intro, Ellen has been called out for various things, done both on the show and behind the scenes. One of the things that set this all in motion was a celebrity spilling secrets, if you will, specifically YouTube star Corinne Olympios. After going on the show, she later did an interview with The Morning Breath and admitted that she was very shocked by how Ellen not only acted overall, including noting that she was made to feel uncomfortable by her, but then she clarified by noting that she was a big fan of Ellen going into the show, and yet by the end of it, she had mixed feelings. Obviously, the true standing up moment here was that she spoke out at all. There is a risk in calling out a celebrity like Ellen, and yet she did just that, and it helped others speak out about their experiences with Ellen. And Corinne seems to be doing just fine now, so no major backlash was put upon her, thankfully. Number 7. Katy Perry. This one wasn't a full standing up to moment, but still something that does need to be mentioned for various reasons. You see, Ellen had brought Katy Perry onto the show, and somehow forgot that Perry had once been married to the actor and comedian Russell Brand. She was divorced by the time that she did come back, but Ellen should have remembered. Katy was flat out shocked about the memory lapse, but that's not where it ended, because then the singer said of the zinger, "Remember, you gave me some wedding gifts on this show?" Yep. Ellen not just forgot about a marriage, she forgot about Katy being on her show before and rewarding her for said marriage. It should also be noted that Katy and Ellen are honestly friends in real life, and Perry showed her support for Ellen during the backlash in 2020. Ellen apologized, and Katy even motioned for this exchange to be edited out. But as someone once noted, the internet never forgets, and the clip, well, it's still all there for people to see. Number 6. Justin Timberlake. Ellen had yet another goof-up moment when she had the one and only Justin Timberlake on the show, whom, just like Katy Perry, is good friends with Ellen. But on that show, their friendship was definitely tested. You see, they had been drinking tequila while playing one of Justin's songs. While this was going on, Ellen messed up one of the lines to the song. Justin was not amused, as he couldn't believe she didn't know the lyrics. Ellen noted it was an honest mistake and even asked the audience for help, but Justin wasn't having it. Then her own DJ turned on her and played the song in question and made it very clear just how much she screwed up. Now, we'll be fair and say that Ellen wasn't completely at fault for this, because we've all misremembered songs in the past. But when it came to Justin's berating nature at the mistake, that just made it impossible not to mention. Number 5. Wanda Sykes. It's always funny when a comedian puts down another comedian when the opportunity presents itself. Like when Wanda Sykes came onto the show, and Ellen gave her a jacket for her comedy tour that she had done recently. Wanda happily accepted the jacket, and then went on the warpath of sorts about what this tour jacket was saying on its back. Ellen tried to deflect that it wasn't a tour jacket, to which Wanda replied that said just that. Wanda also pointed out how restricted the tour was in terms of location, including the fact that Ellen stayed in Los Angeles for parts of the tour and only left California once to go to Seattle. So not a very far-reaching tour, as we're sure you can agree. Wanda used that knowledge to full extent, and the audience was rolling in their chairs as Wanda wouldn't let Ellen get away with anything on the matter. Number 4. Cher. If you really want a great example of Ellen pushing things to the limit with her guests, then you need to look no further than what happened with Cher when she appeared on the program. Ellen took her to a hair salon and decided to surprise some people with some funny haircuts done by the two of them. Cher was into it, and she happily got to work to make the customers happy. A great time all around, right? Well, Ellen was more interested in comedy than anything else, which rubbed Cher the wrong way entirely, especially when Ellen would ignore her requests and mess up what Cher was doing with the person. Then she started to do some karaoke on Cher's songs and called out the lyrics, which got Cher to clap back at her, and let's just say that Cher called her a not-so-nice name. At the end of it, Ellen tried to play it cool and say that the two were good friends, but Cher couldn't get away from Ellen fast enough. This is a rule of life that Ellen broke. You don't mess with Cher. Number 3. Hasan Minhaj. One time Ellen had on Hasan Minhaj from the recently ended show Patriot Act, and it should have been a very basic interview. The problem was, though, is that Ellen was saying his name as Minaj instead of Minhaj. Not cool. Things got worse when she kept saying Hasan's name wrong, and he had to not just correct her, but say how if she could say other celebrity names without issue, then she should be able to say his, and gave examples of talking about that fact. He got on her big with that one, and when you're the host, you're supposed to know your guests and how to say their names, no matter how exotic. Ellen didn't do her due diligence and then got penalized for it. Number 2. Mariah Carey. This one is a bit awkward in the worst way to talk about. Ellen had heard rumors that Mariah Carey was pregnant, but when Mariah deflected, Ellen decided to up the ante by going and getting some champagne glasses and drinks and seeing if Carey would drink it. Carey was obviously put in a very awkward position because no matter what she did, she would lose in one form or the other. She had to go hard to resist what Ellen was trying to do, and it stands to this day as one of her most awkward moments on the show. The interview was even brought up again to Carey during the 2020 backlash for Ellen, and she reiterated how bad it was that Ellen did, showing that what happened still haunts her, especially since she lost the said baby not long after that interview. Number 1. Dakota Johnson. One time Dakota Johnson was on Ellen's show. It was just after her birthday party, a party that Ellen wasn't going to. Ellen noted that she hadn't been invited to the party, but Dakota noted that not only was this not true, she was invited, she didn't say to her or anyone else why she couldn't come. This took Ellen aback as she had to be reminded by her producer that she was out of town that day, and that's why she couldn't go. Dakota seized this opportunity to get free insults in on Ellen, and it was magic. So what do you think? What do you think of these times when celebs were allowed to bite back at Ellen and made some big waves as a result of it? Can you believe that so many people stood up to Ellen over the course of her show? Do you wish that more people stood up to her and thus put her antics on blast more? Which of these celebrity clapbacks were the best in your opinion? Let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we will see you next time on the channel.